Well, we are alive, pals. Mike, we're finally sitting down to do a watch along.
We are live you are live in the same way that you've always been. I am extra live because I was at this match live.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're really live here. You're reliving a live moment.
Yeah, this was my first and only Impact show that I ever attended. This match happened was a little over a year ago in Toronto at the Rebel. It's a club actually. It's not even an arena. It's a dance club.
Yeah. Well,
It was a cool little venue for this though. Really
tell the
cool little.
listeners what we're watching here.
All right, so we are
Holy
watching.
shit.
Yeah, we are watching the Lucha Brothers defend their tag team championships against LAX at the Rebellion pay-per-view from 2019.
These guys are off to a hot start. Now, I've never watched this match before, so
Okay,
I
so
am
you've
pretty
never
excited.
seen it.
Because
And
I've heard this match is awesome.
I've never watched it on TV. So I was there live, but I didn't get to see it. I've never watched it on television. So this will be a different angle for me.
Absolutely. And this is a blow off too. These guys had a pretty now you're the Impact guy here, so laying those chops in. You're the Impact guy here, so you're gonna have to kind of educate me a bit. This is the blow off to a pretty long feud these guys have had, right?
Pretty long feud, and fans knew that the Lucha Brothers were getting ready to leave. They had signed with AEW. And they were getting ready to leave. AEW hadn't at this point. The show Dynamite hadn't started yet, but they were going to be part of it, and they knew that. So this was their way of blowing off this feud with LAX that they've been doing for a long time. Now I don't know that LAX knew that they eventually would follow suit and leave as well.
Oh boy! But, wow, crazy dives there! Wow, right through the tables.
These guys go back a long way. All these guys, the Lucha Brothers. If you're familiar with, I learned about them by watching Lucha Underground, where they weren't a tag team. They were both singles wrestlers.
Yes.
In Lucha Underground, and Pentagon became my favorite in Lucha very quickly.
Yeah, he was awesome.
He was a heel in the first season, but he was my favorite character in the show. And then when he became a face later on in season 2, he became my favorite face.
So Pentagon had a great feud with Vampiro, correct, in the first season?
Did. So he feuded all over the place in season 1, where he was serving a master, and you never got to see the master. And then Vampiro, who was the commentator, decided he didn't like the way that that Pentagon served as master. So he challenged him to a fight at their big blow-off pay-per-view at the end of the year. And they fought. They had a gruesome match. Do you ever watch that match? We might have to.
I did.
We might have to do a walk-along to that match, actually.
Yeah, I'd like to do some Lucha Underground, and I want to do some AEW and tonight as well. I like the variety of stuff that we're watching.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at some of the guys that came out of Lucha. Pretty much all the mainstay guys are in one of the 3 major companies right now.
Oh, that was awesome.
You know what I mean? Like Prince Puma is Ricochet over in WWE.
And that same event you were talking about where Vampiro fought, he fought Rey Mysterio, correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. These guys are awesome.
I feel like
I'm going to say that a lot this match.
You are going to say it a lot in this match. Who else? Jeff Cobb was in Lucha. Where is he now? Is he in AEW?
He's doing a bit of AEW. He's still in Ring of Honor. Jeff Cobb's doing New Japan as well still.
Yeah.
He's kind of a traveling man.
He's a very underrated talent.
I really liked Phoenix in Lucha Underground. Him and Mil Morte.
Oh, yeah. They had some great feuds.
And Mil Morte used to be in Impact Wrestling as well. He was in TNA as who was the guy? Josiah? What was his name?
Yeah. That,
You know what I'm talking about? He had that feud with
it
Abyss.
was during a time I wasn't watching too much Impact, but
Yeah, that,
but I will get there. I renewed my subscription to the Impact Plus app, so I am starting. I've decided to start all the way back at episode 1 of the Asylum years,
oh
back when they
yeah,
did the weekly pay-per-views, the $10 pay-per-views. Uh, yeah,
yeah. I used to like
me
some of
too.
those.
I that's how I got into them in the first place. I kind of fell off after a couple of years of Impact. But I started watching that, and they have every single episode of the Asylum years, every single episode of Impact, all for like $9. It's great.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
really
say what you want about TNA and Impact Wrestling and whatever. Like, yeah, you know, they're kind of in a weird spot right now, and they've lost momentum and blah blah blah. But if you look at the catalog and the history of some of their matches,
absolutely.
they've got some all time classics in their library.
Yep. I got turned off for a couple of years, and I blame Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff for that.
Well, yeah, that was a rough period. I think that's where they lost a lot of their
And
momentum.
then by the time I went back, the reason I went back is because a guy that I'm proud to call not a friend but an acquaintance. I can't call him a friend, but a guy that I know that I spent some time, you know, around in the Indies when I was able to be around. A guy named Crazy Steve uh,
Yeah, oh, I know Crazy Steve.
got signed quite a few years ago. And when he debuted on
Oh,
Impact, I said, okay, I'm back on Impact. I have to go back to Impact because Crazy Steve is the shit.
yeah, I
Steve
like
is
Crazy
back in
Steve.
Impact now, which is awesome. So that gives me a reason to watch again. Oh, look
Ooh,
at that! Woo!
yeah, that was awesome.
Okay,
That's some great
let's
tape.
not sleep on LAX here, right?
Oh, where'd Phoenix come from? Holy moly!
They, Santino and Ortiz really took when I found out they were going to use the LAX gimmick, I wasn't impressed because LAX to me was, who was LAX? That was Homicide
Homicide and
and
Hernandez, right?
Hernandez, right? And Conan was involved in that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he was involved with them as well here, right?
And you remember some of the feuds like uh, Three Live Crew versus LAX.
Oh, we missed that
You
one.
know,
I liked them and AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels
yes.
really had some legendary
You
matches.
know, so that to me that was LAX. So when these guys started doing LAX here, I was like, really? Okay. But then
Yeah.
they bought me over. These guys, I still think they could have done a different gimmick, but they impressed
Holy.
me. And I obviously don't watch as much AEW as you do, but when I do check it out, they're still doing what they did in Impact. They are one of the greatest tag teams in the world.
Well, and it's funny too because you take a look what they're doing in AEW and who they're doing it with right now. They're with arguably one of the biggest stars in the history of this
Yeah.
business. La Champion, Chris Jericho. They're doing great stuff with the Inner Circle. I remember when the Inner Circle first kind of came to be, I was like, I don't get it. I don't see the connection.
Yeah, same here.
But it didn't take me very long for these guys to get me on board. Like they're firing at all cylinders. They've had some great matches in AEW already. I'm excited that you got FTR in there now for some fresh matches. They've already gone through the Young Bucks. They've had their matches with them. Pentagon and Phoenix are there so they can reignite this feud. The AEW tag team division is too stacked for its own good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I still need you to watch the Stadium Stampede, by the way.
Well, maybe I'll have to be a watch along.
Yeah. I want you to be able to hear
it.
it. It's pretty funny.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay. Jeez. So whereabouts are you sitting when you're here, Mike?
So at this point, we've been moved a couple times.
Yeah.
So
too ugly to be on the hard camera side.
Well, what happened was when we got there, I went with friend of the show, Adam Contant.
Oh, you sound familiar.
And my former podcast host, Danny Parkhill. So
Danny, great man. Part of the lost episode of Counted Out that was never to be.
We'll have him back on the show so people can actually hear the show.
Yeah, and I love making fun of you with him.
I'm sure you do. So me, Adam, and Danny showed up to the show, and a guy that Adam knows turned out he was working for Impact. And because Adam used to work for Scotty D'Amore's old company, Border City.
Yeah, to Windsor, right?
Yes. So through those connections, ran into a guy that Adam knew, and the guy said, "Hey, I need some seat fillers. There's some empty seats in front row, and we can't have any empty seats. Can you guys go and fill the seats?" So right away, me and Danny are like, "Yeah, fucking A." So
Yeah, no kidding.
we went and sat front row. Great. The first match is about to come on. The people who own the seats come. They're like, "Those are our seats."
No.
Like, God damn it. So
Have you? Is that would that have been the first time or the closest you've ever been? What's the best seats you ever had at a wrestling show?
I mean, I've been front row to indie shows, but like,
Yeah, I'm talking about like a like a WWE or an Impact, like a bigger show.
Like fucking nosebleed, man. I always nosebleeds, yeah.
Nosebleed guy.
Yeah, I can never justify spending the hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, with Kerr, who we had on the show, Ginger from Ginger and Dutch, him and I spent some money for WrestleMania. We were ninth row on the floor, hard side.
Well, that and I mean the best seats you probably ever had was at Unforgiven 2006, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say we got lucky. Me and a friend of the show, Wilson, the biggest Al Snow fan I've ever met in my entire life, possibly the only Al Snow fan. Great side story about Wilson is we went and met Mick Foley one time at a Comic-Con event out of Hamilton. Yeah. And he when he met Mick Foley, we sat there and he got him to sign his picture to Al Snow's biggest fan.
That's amazing. I need to.
But yeah,
I need to do a side thing here. I need to go to this match for a second. Can I tell you one of my biggest pet peeves in wrestling? I hate this spot.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Fucking hate this sit down chair spot. The trading blows when you're sitting down. I despise it. It is such a stupid spot to me. I've never.
What do they got here? Is that a fork?
He's going straight Abby, man.
No kidding.
Shades of Abdullah the Butcher. Oh, they both got the.
Oh, I was gonna say, are they gonna hit him with a fork? No. Now we're going.
I'm not sure I even noticed. I'm not sure I even noticed the fork spot when I saw it live.
You know what I like about this match so far is it's not like your classic TLC matches where it's taken them a long time to set up the spots or anything. They haven't done any of that yet.
Yeah,
and I'm a fan of that. They're beating the hell out of each other. So great energy, fast pace.
I'm going to answer your question that you asked before while giving a funny little story. So where I am at this point now, we're in the standing room only near the back. Now, not a huge venue, so it's still a good view. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 rows of seats, and then it's standing room in the back. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, the venue and the lighting, it looks really cool. I wish that they'd continue running events here because they were making that their home for a little while.
Yeah, it was because Anthem is a Toronto-based company. Yeah. So I'm in. If you can see near the back there, if you're watching the screen right now, you see where the entrance is. We're to the right-hand side of the entrance.
By where all those guys in the Canadian flag shirts
the back where people are standing.
Yeah, okay.
So we're watching the match, and we're near the bathrooms. And we're watching, and first, this guy, there's a bunch of guys kind of making commotion behind me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then this dude, like, bumps into me, like, really fucking hard to get me out of his way. And I turn around because I'm pissed. It's Tully fucking Blanchard.
Sorry, Mr. Blanchard.
Yeah, no shit. And he just keeps going by because they're trying to get him out of the building.
Well, because his daughter Tessa had a big match against Gail Kim on this card.
He was there to do a spot because Tessa fought Gail Kim.
Yeah.
And he did a spot where he sat in front row. And then after the match, they had to get rid of him. So as they're trying to get him out of the building, they're trying to rush him out of the building. He bumps into me. So
you should have dropped him. You should have dropped him with a dusty elbow.
Right.
Oh, big stuff.
I'm already in seventh heaven because Tully Blanchard.
Oh, hold on here. Look at what they got going on. Sorry, Mike. Holy shit.
Whew. No, I'm already in seventh heaven because the second greatest horseman to ever live touched me.
Arn Anderson wasn't there. Ric Flair wasn't there.
We're not going to have this talk.
Sorry. You meant the third greatest horseman.
So I'm already happy as shit. About 5-10 minutes later, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and someone goes, "Hey man, do you know where the bathrooms are?" And I turn around to show this dude where the bathrooms are. I go point. It's fucking Santino Morella.
No kidding.
He's asking me where the pisser is. So, but great. Earlier than this, Danny had gone into the bathroom and he's taking a piss. And as he's peeing, the guy next to him while peeing goes, "Hey man, how you enjoying the show?" It was fucking Jeremy Borash.
Oh, really, eh? Well, I didn't know Borash was still with the company at
He
this point.
was
Or maybe Madison Rain.
oh wait,
She was there?
no, it wasn't Jeremy Borash. It was Josh Matthews.
Oh, Josh Matthews. Whew.
That's who it was. It was Josh Matthews. But yeah, so some cool little stories. You know, this kind of shit wouldn't happen at a WWE show. You know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Impact has gone to the point where they're and I say this with all compliments meant. They run Impact like the biggest.
Which is great, though. I like the interaction that you get. Again, we were talking about the lighting. Look how cool that venue looks.
It feels very similar to going to an ROH show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but you know what I like? I like when promotions do the pre-show meet and greets. Like, I just think it gives a special feel to it.
So here's a question for you, and we've never discussed this. Be it Impact, be it WCW, I don't care what company we're talking about. How do you feel when a company sets their ramp up to lead straight? I've never been.
I love how it looks. It takes away, some a couple spots on the outside. Yeah. I'm a fan of it. I'm gonna say I'm a fan of it.
Okay. I've never been a big fan.
Well, look out! What's going on here? Phoenix. Oh shit!
Love that.
Oh my god!
What's that
he
called?
Just landed right on his head.
Fly?
Holy shit! That looked right on his head. He's got to be fucked up.
Yeah, we.
Did you see him land on his head there?
We
Holy
did.
shit!
Yes, we did.
Look at the replay. Look at this. Oh,
I remember like Danny looked at me and said, "He's fucked."
Oh my god! He was supposed to go right over there. That's scary. Thank God he's all right.
And can you believe this didn't even? If I'm remembering properly, I'm pretty sure this didn't even close out the show.
No, it was Brian Cage winning the title, right?
It was Cage and Johnny
Impact.
Yeah, with if you remember the show, it was closed out by Michael Elgin making his debut.
Absolutely. I do know that this match was voted the Impact Wrestling, oh my god, match of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
So now that you're rewatching it, how's it holding up for you?
It's just watch live. Yeah. I was lucky enough to see quite a few. Like, I don't get to go to wrestling as much as I'd like to. So
yeah.
2019 was a really cool year for me because I got to go to a good number of shows here. Mostly thanks to WrestleMedia. We went to, there's Conan. Because of WrestleMedia, we made a lot of contacts and we did a lot of shows, went to a lot of shows for the podcast.
Yeah.
And two of the shows I went to had probably the best ladder matches that I have seen in years.
Yeah, you did Ring of Honor as well, right?
The other one being the ROH Supercard, which had the Briscoes versus the Guerrillas of Destiny. Another awesome ladder match.
The table's coming in now. This guy's having a hard time with the tables. Those legs are fucking up everywhere. Kept his composure. Break somebody's arm. I love that spot.
I know they didn't come up with the that Full Metal Mayhem is a way cooler name than TLC.
Yeah, although I did like when Foley would chant tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my.
Yeah.
They did some great stuff with Edge and Christian and whatnot.
Yes. But Full Metal Mayhem is just. Right. I've always I think I give full credit to Scotty D'Amore for this. I always liked a lot of the names, the gimmick names that Scotty and Impact came up with.
Oh boy, Thumbtacks. I like. You know what one I really liked was Ravens
Yes,
Clockwork
right?
Orange House of Fun
Yeah.
match.
It was goofy. It was stupid, and but it was what it was. But it was fun.
Thumbtacks are out.
And we'll see if I when I revisit it. But I think I it's the King of the Mountain match was interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on the
The
King of the
thing I
Mountain.
don't like. Oh,
Uh-oh.
what's happening?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Oh,
Oh, we're
oh,
good. You got
yeah,
that
I
blue
got that.
flash on
It
your
was like a
screen
big
too?
screen.
I was like, oh, there goes 20 minutes of recording. Fuck.
I thought it was a stupid YouTube app ad for a second.
All right, what's going on here? We got thumbtacks on the table. These guys are
Oh,
climbing up the ladder.
good thing they're wearing full gear, man. I mean, not like it's
Yeah,
too
no
much, but
kidding.
it's
What a
got
great visual that is. So again,
skin, right?
yeah, absolutely. Great visual. The set looks incredible.
The set's great. The camera work. Let's be honest. I haven't been impressed with WWE's camera work in the last 3 years.
No, they cut. What's with all the cuts,
Kevin
man?
Dunn needs.
Like they're giving me a
Yes,
stroke.
I don't know what Kevin Dunn has done to change his outlook on producing in the last couple of years, but it sucks. But Impact, I like the way Impact's been shooting. I really do.
How many people, as you see, there's thumbtacks on the table. This is a nightclub.
Okay, listen.
How many people do you think the next weekend came and were stepping
Oh,
on
no shit.
thumbtacks on the dance
Listen to this
floor?
pop.
Oh, there it is.
I don't know if you
They missed the
I don't
camera
know if
angle
you
there.
could hear that, but I was there. That was a huge pop.
Is that it? Wow. That was a good match.
I think I always mix them up. Not the guy with the long hair, but the other one. Which is he Santana?
I think that's Ortiz. No, that is I don't know. I mixed them up
with
too.
The short hair. In his fucking fingertips.
Oh, I can imagine. So, what do you think about your first watch along here, Mike?
This was the Lucha Brothers send off. This was their last match in the back. This was the way that they and just like any good wrestler, when you leave a company, you leave on your back. And they did the honors for LAX. They put LAX over. They put the titles on LAX. They left. They knew they were going to AEW, and they left the right way in one of the best matches in Impact history.
Absolutely.
And how cool is it, especially as a bunch of Latino guys standing in the ring right now with the Latino Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, Conan is
the
massive.
Biggest name in Lucha history. Can we he was Hulk Hogan in Lucha?
No, he wasn't the biggest name in history because there's guys like much bigger. Santos was he was probably one of the biggest ones. But Conan, he's in the top 5 for sure. There's some guys that drew some real serious money even before Conan.
In the United States or Canada as much as I thought he
should. No, Conan was the guy that kind of broke through. You're looking at him and the Rey Mysterio. I'd say the big ones are Rey, Conan, Psychosis, and Hoodoo.
Yeah, right? Rey's probably the biggest Lucha to. I don't know. You can either say maybe Rey or Eddie. I don't know which one, but the biggest Lucha star to be, in the States. You want to talk Mexico? Fucking, it didn't get hotter than Conan, man. And
Conan for years.
It's too bad that Conan didn't get over bigger, because when he was in the NWO, I was a huge Conan fan.
He was cool.
I was going around all my friends going, "Olale!"
The Tequila Sunrise.
Fucking loved K-Dog. And I look at him now, and I love the stuff he did in Lucha. I love the stuff he did in Impact. The only place he really hasn't made his mark was the WWE.
Don't sell Max Moon.
Did we never see Max Moon being a champion? I don't know.
Don't sell Max Moon
Okay,
short.
let's be honest. He was only ever Max Moon once.
There's a sign of respect. That's probably a cool moment for all
Very
those guys.
cool moment. It was cool to be there. Knowing, because the smart fans knew that the Luchas were leaving. So to watch this goodbye and to watch and there we go. Look at this. The respect from all. So now all the faces are coming out. Not
Oh, you recognize the blonde there,
only
Scarlett from
are
NXT
you
now.
not only are you standing there with a legend like Conan. Look who else just came out. Petey Williams, one of the biggest stars in Impact history. Is
I just like I'm watching this and I just Impact. You got to hold on to these talents, guys. Somehow, take a look in the ring right now. You got Phoenix, you got Pentagon, you got LAX. Scarlett's in the ring, who's
is
now
now gone.
killing it in
Yeah.
NXT. Like, just the talent that goes through there. And that's it. We're done there.
Yeah, or
Well, Mike.
unfortunately, one of Impact's problems is they're not big on they don't sign people to contracts as quickly and indefinitely as they should.
No, and that's something that's been one of their problems for a long
Yeah.
time. Well, I
No,
want to do this
the
again
match
with you
is done.
soon,
Yeah,
buddy.
we're definitely gonna do this again.
Thanks for having some drinks with me and watching some wrestling. Why don't you give us a classic, take us home?
As always, man. In On behalf of Tyler, on behalf of the Lucha Brothers versus LAX, we've been counted out.
Cheers.